Nous reprenons une autre vidéo et vous voyez vous-même la lumière du Seigneur est là. Et nous disons merci au Seigneur. La table est toujours bien illuminée. Et vous voyez vous-même la scène sur la venue du général de Gaulle. Et la lumière du Seigneur est là. Comme elle est déjà entrée, vous voyez vous-même, elle est entrée dans la maison. Comme d'habitude, je vous montre, la poignée est éclairée. Là, j'ai la main, comme d'habitude. Et nous entrons dans la maison où la lumière du Seigneur s'est déjà manifestée dans la maison. Vous voyez vous-même, entre les deux, vous avez le pot, vous avez les objets d'art, vous avez l'arbre qui vous fait vivre, le bananier, qui nous a été arraché. Et vous avez la lumière du Seigneur qui se signale déjà là où je dois m'asseoir. Vous voyez vous-même. Puis, nous avons au sol, vous voyez, le trait, il est là, devant les livres. Vous avez vu là où ça s'arrête? Là, devant les livres. Les livres qui nous ont été donnés hier. Jésus. C'est ce que nous allons comprendre ce matin. Il me dit de reprendre ces livres. China and the Three Words. Future Africa Sub-Saharan Take-Off. Humanities, China Academy of Social Science Forum. Il me dit d'aller m'asseoir. Et je m'assieds. Nous allons ensemble éplucher un peu ce que le Seigneur vient de nous donner. Et vous voyez comment je suis déjà dans la maison, mais illuminée par la même lumière que nous avons vue dehors. Le Seigneur est présent. Nous avons ce livre. Je viens de vous dire que il y a à la page 76, je lis. In all, I have found a new development model. We put economic development at the center of African countries' policies. We put economic development at the center of African countries. Well, carry out political reform properly and gradually. A model and theory called Pangmang for a real win-win game. We think such enhance to facilitate the plan of new strategies for development and establishment of a new world economic order, claiming cry of this people of Africa and diaspora, struggling within the eternal chains of slavery and colonization, exploitation worldwide. In addition to this, the African countries are now facing the current financial crisis that brought several challenges, including notably shrinking external demand, difficult business conditions for enterprises, rising unemployment in urban areas, and greater downward pressure on economic growth around the world, especially in the poor countries, such as Africa areas. Recalling our past to understand our sorrows and figure out what steps to take, I finally discovered, as other economists, that African countries do not need any loan from developed countries to start their reform journey. They need to claim their own reserves of money that were since centuries kept by the buyers of their natural products, in which transactions they were paid 15% of the total value in export business. Compare the General History of Africa by UNESCO, Volume 8. Of particular note is the unprecedented expansion of people's freedom. In this area, my findings crossing the borders of the great rivers Nile, Euphrates, and Tigris bring together a very strong brotherhood trait between the people of the East and West, according to the old days of the past, and their cultural inheritance bear witness with the oldest linguistic proof of the loss of their pictograms and writing systems discovered by this long journey of my works, studies, and research that give birth to my framework today. African and Chinese people may be of the same blood. After 20 years since research for the key solutions for African countries' economic development, my survey and studies of the China's reform reveals lessons and experiences that African countries can focus and conduct the same reform conform to their own realities of the ground. Although there is no quick fix such as shock therapy for challenges, the Chinese experience can lead African countries to real fix a stable, gradual, and responsible approach. It is in my book, Future Sub-Saharan Takeoff in Light of Practice in Chinese Economic Development, Dr. Ndomo Melingi Therese Aisha, page 76. Here is the book. Again, I think everybody know this book. The Lord is shining on it. I have to turn the book. I have to turn to let you see the book. This is my book, Future Africa Sub-Saharan Takeoff in Light of Practice in Chinese Economic Development, a Divine Mission, Dr. Ndomo Melingi Therese Aisha. On the front page, you have China in red, Africa in green. We are in green development. There have been many shelves, then I choose China. Here is the introduction of, and you see I am here. Here is what is written behind. And my picture is here. And let us read. Outlook and analysis of sub-Saharan Africa in global economy. A critical need of changes and policy orientation for a takeoff in light of Chinese experience. A new goal. Introductory remarks about sub-Saharan Africa backwardness in current situation describe Africa in the world. The past speaks to the present towards the horizon. Furthermore, it shows what are the major changes that have been brought by the globalization of markets since the colonial destruction of the old world, today third and fourth worlds. Then it focuses on the dilemma met by people of this weak old world in their path to economic development. Globalization can cause many difficulties to third and fourth world nations, but also it may open up opportunities. In this era of high commercial relationships, in this era of high commercial relations and links between continents, countries, or nations, world can adopt a variety of development policies. Therefore, discuss and discern what are the key steps and key strategies that a country has to follow in order to promote economic growth and sustainable development. This will be the ultimate concern of the author. To realize economic prosperity and outgrow the world citizens' status, developing country should not rest on the Western advocated economic globalization only. They should develop their domestic economies in a way suitable for their national conditions, beef up South-South cooperation, and promote North-South dialogue for the establishment of a just international political and economic order. Mrs. Ndomo Melingi Therese was born on June 9th, 1950 in Endinding Obala, Cameroon. In March 2001, she was enrolled in Renmin University of China, Beijing, as General Advanced Research Student, Senior Scholar. The criteria for her admission was according to the track record of professional success with increasing responsibility of managerial and professional experience, high potential for advancement, academic capability, and potential to contribute to the level of mastering economics development theories. With her experience in the areas of economics and international business and her study of transit specific on Africa's commerce, she completed 10 years' previous research works, which show her abilities to mastering the field without any difficulty. After one term, she was graduated and presented as candidate for the National Entrance Examination for this 3 years PhD program. She successfully passed it with authorization to study and write in English language, although she speaks Chinese and can communicate fluently with the Chinese people. She was awarded the doctorate degree in World Economics, International Relations on June 2010 at Renmin University of China, Beijing. Her 23 years of research and framework have a great impact in the development of the world economic system toward the globalization and the new international economic and political order, NEPO, demanded by the Third World. On January 30th, 2011, she became a French citizen. This book you see is based on La Famille Universelle du Tsunami, and it was published by Author House. You have the reference here. You can check. Now, inside the book of Future Africa, Sub-Saharan Takeoff in Light of Practice in Chinese Economic Development, you have here all about it. A Divine Mission. Dr. Ndomo Melingi Therese Aisha. Professor Wang Weiping, PhD Program, World Economics, Development and International Relations. Renmin University of China. Address 175 Haijianlu, Haijian District, Beijing, 10,087. Author House. To bring her back, the picture is here. The coming back was prepared. Thank you, Lord, for your choice. You have chosen another book, Humanities Chinese Academy of Social Science Forum, Foreign Language Press. This is a forum that gives us all about the articles published in the forum and authors. We have everything here. The content and several problems related to the study of China's modern history. We have the supervision system of maritime sailing in China from the 10th to the 13th century. We have everything here that help us, the reclusive spirit in ancient China painting. We have aspect of Chinese ethno-socio-linguistic study, a report on literature. We have cultural factors and economic performance in East Asia and Latin America. We have the interior display and its relation to external space in traditional Chinese gardens. We have here the individual and modern identity in China. We have information super highway and cultural development. Everything that I needed to know China, to understand Chinese people, to understand the social shame, the social science of China. We move further with the third book, because we have only a small time. Here we have China and the Three Words, a foreign policy reading. King Se Cheng. Yes, here, the reopening of China in 1971 by President Richard Nixon has already been regarded as a turning point of China's foreign policy and international politics. It has facilitated the re-establishment of Peking's diplomatic relations after the Cultural Revolution, broadened the dimension of China's international political, economic, and cultural activities, and promoted China's campaign against hegemonies of the superpowers. Its impact on China's relationship with the outside world, particularly the United States and third world countries, is immeasurable. Unless that A decade after the reopening of China, the main figures who were responsible for the breakthrough were out of the political arena. Richard Nixon resigned in 1974, and the Watergate scandals, and Mao Zedong and Su Enlai both passed away in 1976. But the world rolls on in Mao development. In Mao's words, quote, time press. Sino-American relationship continue to develop. Moreover, China under a new leadership is struggling to usher in an area of modernization, ambitiously proposing to build herself into a true world power. In view of the important events in the past and perceiving possible significant developments in the future, Michael Hingmao Kao and the writer and King Si-shen is quoted that in view of important events in the past and perceiving possible significant developments in the future, Michael Hingmao Kao and King Si-shen had planned to co-edit this volume for some time. After the primary work on my part was finally completed, Hingmao found himself too tired up with his gigantic Mao's writing project to spare any time for this volume. It is King Si-shen, editor, who is speaking. And these are the referential books of my study. Brothers and sisters, we need to focus on dilemma. And to do that,